2.5 years since we've owned this truck. Brand new driver. He just got his license. This is a Texas driving permit, you know, whatever you want to call it, that allows him to drive on the road. But anyways, so while he's driving me around, I'm going to try to concentrate on watching him and also talking about this. All right, 2019 Tundra Trd Pro. We've owned it now for 2.5, going on 3 years here soon. It's incredible. Coming up on, did we pass 36,000 miles? 36,000 miles. That's just insane. In a truck that we hardly, I mean, I don't know, it sounds like we hardly drive it, but we do a lot of trips in it, and we do a lot of towing with it. So we're gonna go interior, exterior, drivability, what we like, what we don't like. All right, so when we bought this thing in 2018, 2019, I was looking, this is my very first truck, our very first truck. My brother has a Tundra, and I know everybody else that had Tundras, but that's not really why the reason we bought it. We initially started looking, we were gonna buy the 2019 Chevy Silverado 2500 High Country with all the options. And he came up with the idea for this car. And everything that you see here is his fault. So after 2.5 years, he finally gets to drive it. We looked at several different trucks. The only one I never looked at, and I should have, were the Dodge Rams. But you see, now we bought a skid steer. If some of you people that follow our channel know, we have a skid steer. We towed a lot with this, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough. So the reason we chose this truck primarily is Toyota reliability. And I know people like to argue, you know, Fords and Chevys and Dodges are more reliable, and yeah, how about I don't think so. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to start out with the exterior of the truck. You know, this is one of those colors that you have to see in person. You can't really rely on this video and go, oh, that's kind of a cool color, because it changes. You know, it changes. Right now the sun is out, and when the sun is out, it's brighter, and then as it gets cloudier, it gets darker, and I guess that's why they call it the voodoo blue. But anyway, so we've done, you know, my only complaint about this color is that it chips super easy. So anything, I don't know if you can see that, it chips really easy. And there's one there, there's one right here, there's a few scratches here and there. As we walk around it, we'll talk about all the mods that we did to it and stuff like that. But that's my only complaint, is this paint scratches super easy. One of the first things that we did, because we use this car to tow quite a bit, are the front and rear TRD sway bars. So I did that. We did the front and the rear, and also we put shackles. I don't know if you can see them back there, and it raised the whole truck. And the reason I did that is, so this truck, you know, when it's sitting there with any kind of a load, if it has nothing in it, then it's okay and it's perfectly flat. But as soon as you put 400 or 500 pounds, 600 pounds in a trailer, it starts, well, that truck right there is nice and level, you know. So but this one, because it's so soft, it sags back, so it, like, you know, it bows. So we added the shackles. It raised it about 1.5 inches. 1.5 or half inch? I think it was half an inch. Half an inch. Yeah, and it made the ride a lot more compliant with the front and rear TRD sway bars. See what I mean about how easily it scratches? So it has a few scratches here and there. That's what it looks like underneath. You know, we've only took this thing off-roading one time.
Alright, so we did a little bit off-roading at the Mexican Hat. So we went to Nevada for my birthday, and around that, we did a road trip with the truck, and around Arizona, wherever the Mexican Hat is, I don't remember. We kind of tried doing a little bit off-roading, which is the only time we did do off-roading in the off-road package of a truck, I know. So we kind of thought it would fit, but it didn't. It put a little little tiny scratch, just that long.
Yeah, I was trying to get down to the water, to the river, and we're out here four-wheeling. Where are we?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Utah.
Utah, the Mexican Hat. Look at that. And what happened?
We did a little bit of funny business.
Yeah, a little bit of funny business. A tree done keyed the side of our truck.
Yeah. In many places.
In many places, yes. And he disapproved of it. Do tell.
Yeah, because look at that. Looks like someone keyed it.
Somebody keyed it. They kind of did. See, it practically comes out. See, it'll buff right out.
No, it won't. It'll stay
Yes,
there
it will.
forever.
Yes, it will. You'd be like, oh, where do we get these scratches?
Next to
And
the
Alexander's favorite hat, the Mexican hat. See, get it? Get it? The Mexican hat. You know, we went there for his birthday, and we ended up, or we're trying to rent a, what did we rent? That sounds so cool.
This is my favorite car I've ever driven.
Huh?
This is my favorite car I've ever driven.
There we go.
So what do you want me
Are
to do?
you and Manuel? All right, Mr. Manuel. Give me some chorus and some noise.
So, we went to Royalty Exotics to rent a Lamborghini Huracan. And the guy was like, is that your truck? And we're like, yes, it is. Do you like it? And he's like, yeah, give me the keys. And we're like, okay. We're like, so what do you need the keys for? And he's like, oh, we'll detail the truck. And they detailed the whole truck for us and got rid of that scratch out of it, too.
Yeah, those guys did a I didn't think they were able to take out the scratches off the side of the truck, but it was pretty gnarly. It went all alongside the truck. They didn't paint it. They just buffed it out. But, so, you know, that scratch right there and, oh, no, this is just dirt. You know, this one right here, but the paint still, I believe the paint scratches. And then right here, I just did this, right here on the back. You know, anything touches this paint, I don't know. I think it's kind of on the fragile side. The tires did really well. I never changed the tires out. I really like these tires, you know, especially now with the way gas prices are going and everything else like that. What's the point? So I just kept those on there and they're fine. They're really quiet and I really, really like these tires. You know, I was thinking if I replaced the tires, I'd get the same tire, but just a little bit wider. Just a little bit bigger and wider, and it would fit up nicely in there. And I know, you know, primarily this is a pavement princess. It doesn't really go anywhere. I know it says TRD whatever, and it's got all the stuff on it.
Trucks aren't necessarily made for going off-roading. That's more Jeep Wrangler territory.
Yeah, and we have a Jeep Wrangler. You know, this is not an off-roading car, although people would disagree with you or me. But it's not. It really isn't. It's too big, and it doesn't fit. And that's one of the reasons that most of these scratches exist on the side of this truck, because we're trying to stick it in areas where it doesn't fit. But Wranglers, you know, we have a Wrangler that's the same color as this.
All right, so now we're talking about the interior. The first thing, the seats actually, I really like. They're comfortable, they're extremely wide. I remember the first thing I thought about when we sat in the truck is how wide the seats are. They're extremely wide, they're never uncomfortable, they don't hurt your butt, they're really comfy, I like them.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that's super annoying with cars, and the seats are not comfortable, especially when you go on these super long road trips. They're just not. These seats are very, very comfortable. Yeah, so, you know, front and rear, the rear, let me show you that real quick. I am 6'3". All right, 6'3", so I'm 6'3". So let me show you here what it looks like for me. So I'm sitting right now behind myself. Like, well, no, it's actually you are driving. So regardless of, there's a ton of room back here.
This seat's actually all the way back too.
Yeah, that one's all the way back. So, you know, this one's all the way back. So I can sit over here now and I can show you how that one is. It's still a lot of room. Of course, sunroof. And one of the coolest features about this interior, more so than any other, is this whole back window goes down. The whole window goes down.
If you can't crawl out the window, what's the point of having a window?
Yeah, exactly.
One of my favorite features that we've done in this truck was this steering wheel right here. We just got, the other steering wheel was like plastic and didn't feel really nice, so we took the old steering wheel out and we kind of did our own leather wrap here. You buy the kit off Amazon. Link will be in the description.
Yeah, we did a video on this. We wrapped this. We did a custom wrap ourselves. He actually, me and him, but he did most of the stitching.
Yeah, you actually have to stitch it yourself, but it's actually not as difficult as you think.
Oh, one of the mods that we added to the interior is, and I highly recommend it, is the front and rear cameras. People lie nowadays, and everybody's like, "Oh, I didn't do it." So, you know what? I just got the cameras, so they're always recording while we drive. Another thing that we did was we added the
safe.
The safe. So now you can lock valuables and stuff like that. And you don't have to worry about somebody breaking in and pilfering it.
You can break into it, but we're kind of deterring smash and grabs.
Yeah, smash and grabs. That's pretty much it.
We did a bunch of things to this truck. We kind of wanted to make it our own, so we did little tiny things here and there, not overly dramatic like big subwoofers. Just a little tiny wireless charger here. It's an OEM part. We used to have our own that we made, that we chopped it up, and it actually looked really nice. Yeah,
this is the only one. This is nice. It works, but I don't know. This is like $100 or $80, and I don't think it works any better than the one that we made.
Or a cable.
Yeah. So we have cables now. It's just cables work so much better. I think. This is a good idea and whatnot, but I don't know if
it's just not there yet.
It's not there yet. It's just. It's okay. It works, but you can't really use the phone. Like if you have Google Maps running and stuff like that. So, but anyways, this one has it. I know a lot of people install those, so I guess if your phone just sits there, you just plop it down and it will charge while you're driving. This truck doesn't really have that many fancy electronics and stuff like that. Super basic. Everything is designed, by what I understand, is Toyota designed this whole truck so you can run all the buttons with mittens on, when it's cold outside. So if you have a glove on, this thing is just like super easy to grab a hold of. It's not like some of those other ones that have like in between buttons, they have 10 other buttons.
This doesn't. The only thing I wish this truck had was Apple CarPlay, because now that I got my permit, I really like having Google Maps or whatever on there, but it's whatever.
Yeah, Apple CarPlay came out in the 2020s. So if you care about that, maybe get a 2020 or 2021. 2020, 2021.
Personally, I think it's an underrated feature. That's really cool.
Yeah, I really like Apple CarPlay, especially when
your long road trip.
On road, yeah. So you got navigation and stuff running. I think that's kind of cool.
Here's the dislikes about the interior. It's kind of similar to what we hate about the outside. The plastic kind of scuffs really easy. It's not really a scratch, but it kind of just,
Yeah, my brother has the 2010.
Yes, 2010.
2010. So his, I noticed. I don't know if it'll come out here, but you can see the scratches, how it scuffs up. His doesn't scuff up at all, and I was really amazed to how his holds up compared to mine. And over here, see that there's very light scratches, and you see them more on this one. Like I said, my brother's truck, it's a 2010, and the plastics on that were far superior. I think they're a lot harder to scuff, and this one not so much. I think it scuffs easier. See what I'm saying? Like in through here and stuff like that.
They just found a way to cheapen how they make the plastic.
Yeah, they cheapen how they make the, but overall, like the quality of the interior after 36,000 miles, it looks fantastic. It really does.
Seats, notably.
The seats look really good. All right, so one of the cool features about this truck, I really think that this is the only truck that's more American than any other truck out there. This truck is made in San Antonio?
Somewhere.
San Antonio, or is it Austin?
No, I think it's San Antonio.
It doesn't matter. So it's made in Texas, right? Let's see here. Texas. Yeah, Texas. So the truck is made in Texas. The transmission and the engine is made here in the U.S. somewhere. The transmission is a Nissan. How do you say that? Nissan? No. The transmission is made by Aisin, and the engine and all that. Everything is made here in America. This is the most American truck out there. You know, you go to Chevy and stuff, it's made in Canada. It's hecho in Mexico, which I guess hecho in Mexico is okay. But, you know, this it's made in America. It's the most made in America truck that you can get right now.
It's designed by the Japanese.
Designed by the Japanese to actually hold up. I want it to hold. The only thing is it doesn't tow enough. So we can talk about towing. We've towed. What do we tow? A lot of stuff, a lot of trailers, all the way from just the trailer by itself, which weighs 4,000 pounds, all the way up to, 10,000 pounds, right up to the maximum. Maybe a little bit over, but pretty much I try to stay within. My brother's truck, he has a 2010, and we ended up towing with that. We towed the new tractor that we bought back in the day, and the trailer. It was like 12,000, 13,000 pounds. I didn't know any better, but don't do that. It towed it just fine. But, to stay within the legal ease of the whole thing, you need a truck that can tow. All right, so one of the things that we did, we added the Paragon cover. I like this cover. It's super, super easy to take on and off. And I like it. Overall, it's pretty decent on waterproofing. For the most part, it stays dry in here. I think it does. We didn't include the what do you call that thing? The spray and bed liner. We opted to add this. It's specifically, I requested. I don't like spray and bed liners. I don't know. I just have I don't know. I've seen too many of the older trucks that have had spray and bed liners, and they peel. Now I don't know. Not all of them peel, but I've seen enough to where. Why? Why? So I just didn't include it. And I could add this. I could have added the version that came up the sidewalls. And I really, really like this. It's easy on the knees. And I don't tow 2x4s in here.
Especially if you have like snowboards. We've done a lot. Skis and snowboards. It doesn't scratch up the snowboards.
Yeah, it makes it really nice. I should have gotten the side ones. But one of the things that's kind of annoying, this truck bed, it's always an inch too short. Yes. It's always an inch too short. No matter what I put in here, it's always an inch too short. So whatever I stick in here, it's always like, it comes up to like here. Can't close the tailgate. Oh, but, I guess that's just complaining. These LED lights work really good at night. It lights up the whole interior of the truck. And because it's blue and it's shiny, it glistens.
So see these little, I guess you can say grab handles? So there's one on every single side of the car except the driver's side. So we just grabbed an OEM one that people were selling or whatever. We just put that on.
Yeah, we got this. We made a video on this as well. It works really good, and that's one of the reasons that I didn't include side steps. Ladders are for houses and stuff. I don't need a ladder on the side of my truck. I'm tall enough, and even though I'm tall enough and he's short enough, how is it? Is it easy to get in? You just hop right in.
If I really feel like it, I can just hold on to that.
Yeah, so it makes it super easy breezy, and I don't think they're necessary. But that's just me. You can always add them, I guess, if you wanted to.
Another thing about this truck is I believe it has the best maneuverability or turning radius out of every other big consumer, Texas, whatever, American truck.
Yeah, it really does. And we have the Lexus RX 350/450, and the turning radius of that is exactly like this. It's at 22 feet. 20 to 22 feet is what this thing is rated, and that's what the Lexus RX 350 is rated as well, which is bananas for a truck to turn just as tight as a SUV.
Okay. Go?
Yeah.
Right up here. Right?
Yeah.
Are you recording? Oh, it's facing me. I like that. All right, so as a first-time driver, I just got my permit Monday of last week, or this week. Yeah, this week technically. This is my first time driving the Tundra, actually somewhere. And a few things I'd like to note is the seat's extremely comfortable. That's the big thing I really like. And the steering wheel feels nice in your hands. It's not way too big or way too skinny. So being a little bit short, not really, well, I'm not short, but you know what I mean. I'm not fully grown yet. The visibility for me is extremely good. The seat goes very high, and the mirrors are super adjustable, and I can see everything just as someone 6'3" will be able to drive. So as a short person, it's really easy to get in and out of the car. Even though it's really high, it's actually quite easy. You don't have to really like barely strain yourself to get in and out of the car, which is really nice. Let's talk about acceleration and transmission. So with it being however much it weighs, 5,000 pounds, since it has the V8, it actually gets up and goes quite well actually. There's a video coming out about this soon, but I'm gonna kind of mention this real quick. So when we did the road trip to Las Vegas, we actually went through Death Valley like 4 times because we went back and forth and then back and forth again the second time we went to Las Vegas. And it's like 125 degrees out, and the engine was doing perfect. The air conditioning coming out of the vents was at minus something degrees. It was very, very nice inside the truck. Never even struggles to overheat in 125 degree weather. It stayed perfectly, didn't even want to overheat. It's a good car. That's what you get with Toyota. You don't really want to. That's why you see Toyota Land Cruisers going to Antarctica and stuff like that. You don't really see a Ford going there. Yeah, it's true. So as we're filling up the gas tank, let's talk about the gas tank, huh? So the gas tank has a 38-gallon capacity, which is an extreme amount, especially on a stock car.
Miles per gallon, right? We did a video on this. This truck, and I was amazed at how many people actually got the same thing, 20 miles per gallon, right? And all it is just how quickly you accelerate off the line. And it's kind of hard to explain without making it sound like you're driving super slow and annoying people, but you're not. You're driving with traffic, getting 20 miles per gallon, and that's like average. We did the trip, and we got a high of, what do we get, 22, 23 miles per gallon on the highway.
An interesting thing is the truck's actually rated for 16 or 15, so if you drive a little bit more sensibly, you can extend the range by quite a lot.
Quite a lot, and it's hard. We're gonna do a video eventually here, but to get 20 miles per gallon in this big truck is quite achievable, and I'm amazed at how many people actually do it. I was really amazed. 20 miles per gallon, and that's average. 23, 24 is the most we got up in the mountains.
Even though this is a V8, which are known for guzzling your gas quite a lot, it still could match up with a 6-cylinder EcoBoost Ford or whatever they have now.
Yeah, and you know, I really wanted to get the Ford Raptor, but I'm kind of happy I didn't. I don't, you know, especially now with the way everything's going. It's just, I think the Toyota is the way to go.
Takes a little bit to fill up, but that's what you get with the big.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about. You know, I highly recommend that. We're going to do a video here soon. We already started taking it. We're remodeling my brother's 2010 Tundra with a 46-gallon gas tank, and that video will come out here soon. We've already taken it out and stuff like that. We're just trying to figure out how to plumb it. The directions are horrible, right? But if you get one of these trucks, it doesn't matter, you know, second gen, I highly recommend that you take and remod it for the bigger gas tank. It's the way to go. It's the way to go. It's yeah. Except not cool right now. We're at $70 and we're not even halfway full.
That was us, man. I felt the car.
26 gallons.
26 gallons. Another thing we forgot to mention is adaptive cruise control. The car has like a sonar in the front, which is very, very nice. If you want to just relax, because another cruise controls, like in the Chevy Volt, for example, you have to like manually go up and down with traffic. But with the sonar, you can set it on the sonar button right here to where you can set the distance of how far you want it to travel behind cars. Yeah, it's very, very nice.
All right, 27 gallons, $72.
Yeah.
Other dislike, you know, the TRD Pro, the skid plate that's on there. It's kind of a bad design in the sense that, and had not the dealer have screwed it up, I wouldn't have known about it. So what they ended up doing is when they removed the oil, when they changed the oil for free, and you know, we had all that free maintenance. I just never went back for free maintenance because it just makes a mess. So when they changed the oil, and we're right here underneath where the skid plate is, the oil starts hugging this right here and it falls on top of this plate. This is not far enough, or this right here needed to be cut out more. And they didn't bother wiping it. And then when I got home, and then for like a month after, it continued leaking out of the bottom of the truck. And this is just like ridiculous. We did the Toyota had a couple of recalls. One of them was for the blinkers, and that's why we stuck in LED blinkers to make it brighter. After that recall was done, it ended up being a lot brighter, and it didn't hyper flash on us. We also had the problem with the fuel pump. We did a video on that one, but we thought it was going to strand us out in the middle. We did a 4,000 mile trip just recently, and on the way eastbound out of Needles, California, the truck started surging just like that, and we thought it's going to leave us stranded in the middle of nowhere. In
the middle of the night too.
In the middle of the night too, yeah, but it didn't. It soldiered on, and that was actually the fuel pump. What I surmised is it started cavitating. It let air in there, but like I said, we did a video on that. We kind of explained it there better. One of the things I took the Toyota, you know, when they did the fuel pump, I don't know if it was my fault or Toyota's fault. All right, so this is the skid plate. See how this is all cracked? I would love to say that something grabbed it, but I don't think so. And the moral of the story that is, I'm not sure it was them. It could have been us, but you know, I looked at it and there's just no, I don't know how to start. Like, you know, when you go off-roading, I've broken a lot of things going off-roading on various cars. And if it had been snagged by something, I think it would have seen where it was snagged. But to me, it looked like where the guy was pulling down on it, you know, to try to take the thing off, and it snapped on him. I know I'm blaming Toyota for something that I'm not sure of, but the moral of the story is always check the work they do. And I didn't get on my hands and knees and check underneath the truck. That's all my fault. So it could have been my fault. I don't know, but they ended up snapping that. And they're like, well, I asked the guy, he said he didn't do it. So,
yeah, if you did it, why would you?
Yeah, I wouldn't admit to doing it, but yes, I would have. But yeah, I think I would personally. I would have admitted to it a lot earlier. But here we go again. I'm not sure, but I think it was them, because this truck doesn't go off-roading ever, anywhere, except the Mexican hat.
But then it was all sand. It would have never snapped like that. Yeah, I'm not supposed to go, right? It's a red light, right?
You can go. You can go.
I can?
Yeah.
Even at a red light like
It's
that?
a red light, but it's a red. You can go right on a red
So I
light.
can go right now?
Yeah, but see, you can't go left. You see that? See how the yellow, you can go left now?
So go now?
You can go now.
I've been waiting here this whole time. I wasn't sure, but you're
Oh, it's
talking.
okay, yeah.
So I didn't want to, and there was no car behind me, so.
Good job. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed that. You know, the only thing we ask for is a thumbs up, if you don't mind.
It's free.
Really, it's free, and it helps our channel out more so than you could possibly imagine. You know, now as we're doing YouTube videos, it actually helps a tremendous amount when you give a thumbs up to a video. And now I can kind of see why people always say that, you know, give me a thumbs up. But even if you don't like it, give us a thumbs down and tell us why. Tell us what we can improve on. You know, we got a fair share of haters out there, which is fine. You know, but anyways, guys, we will see you on the next video.
Goodbye.